It's undeniable that the realm of sports would not be what it is without the fans who support it. Every sport has a horde of fans that are unrelenting, unforgiving, and make the moments completely worth every effort made by our hero athletes. A best example of just how bland the world of sports can be without fans in attendance has been quite evident in 2020, with major sports throughout the world pushing through without the presence of the loving fans. And while we wait for the time that we can fill up the stands again, we can take a look back at the time when fans were present and those particular moments when the realm of the fans and the world of athletes collide. Whether it's a heckler from the stands or a streaker running down the field, fans can impact their favorite sports in numerous ways. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Everything Sports. In this video, we're taking a look at the most outrageous fan moments in sports you won't believe happened. Before we jump into it, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe, and press that notification bell for more updates. Fan walks on the racetrack. A bit of pandemonium occurred in 2015 at the Singapore Grand Prix for racing's Formula One. A mid-race caution was raised when a fan walked on the track at the Marina Bay Street Circuit while cars zipped by him with speeds up to 300 kilometers per hour, or almost 200 miles per hour. The man was seen walking through the track and moved to the side of the road just as the leader of the race, Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel, was seen approaching. He then walked by the fence against the direction of the speeding machines. The incident forced the car to come out while the man was safely pulled away from the track before being apprehended by authorities. Eventual race winner Sebastian Vettel was heard over the radio telling his team, "There's a man on the track! There's a man on the track!" Christian Horner, the English team principal of the Red Bull Racing Formula One team, was heard saying he looked like he came right out of a nightclub. The Singapore Grand Prix takes place at Singapore's Marina Bay and is a street course, which means parts of the actual city streets are incorporated into the course. So it was quite probable that someone who had too much fun during the night's festivities must have gotten lost and walked straight into an empty street, not mindful that he was already inside the track. Fan steals the game. In 2016, a New York Mets fan tried to steal the game from the Colorado Rockies as he caught a ball hit by New York Mets' Wilmer Flores. The ball was swiped away from Rockies left fielder David Dahl. However, instead of helping his team, it turns out the fan's actions overturned the home run due to fan interference, with the Colorado Rockies ending up winning 7-2. Not only did he interfere with the home run, the young Mets fan was also kicked out of the stadium for gloating against Rockies outfielder David Dahl. Snowball fight. The city of Philadelphia has a reputation across professional sports for having the roughest fans. In 1968, at an NFL home game for the Philadelphia Eagles against the Minnesota Vikings, the worst thing that could happen to Santa Claus happened. See, the Eagles had a bad season, going into that game with a 2-win, 11-loss record, and they had failed to acquire then-prized running back O.J. Simpson, who was the hallmark pick for the 1969 NFL Draft, and the fans were very disappointed. Fans had arrived to the stadium that day with snow in their seats to watch their poor team in unfavorable weather. Eagles management had planned a Christmas pageant for the halftime show of the pre-Christmas game. However, the Santa team hired to perform at halftime didn't show up, so executives looked for an immediate makeshift replacement and found a 20-year-old named Frank Olivio in the stands, already dressed as Santa. However, the fans rejected this replacement Santa, who was rather thin than what you would like to expect from the good old Saint Nick. And so the fans didn't take it well. They booed replacement Santa Olivio and pelted snowballs at him. It may have been that Eagles fandom found the target of their collective frustrations and decided to let replacement Santa Olivio take all the snow blows. A live chicken on ice. Tossing items on hand by fans can be quite a common thing for most spectator sports. From water bottles to pieces of clothing to even more bizarre items like a vibrating man-piece replica, or in this case, a live chicken. Yes, an actual live chicken was tossed onto a hockey ring in 1988 at the end of the first period of the Los Angeles Kings game with the Montreal Canadiens. The chicken was donning a blue napkin, meant to mimic the Kings' uniform, into the rink, with the terrified fowl sitting motionless and soiling the ice before confused players and officials attempted to remove the hen. The hockey fan responsible for throwing the chicken was arrested and booked for investigation of malicious mischief and cruelty to animals. While the incident became notable in NHL history for causing a stoppage, many hockey fans have tried throwing similar items onto the ice and in doing so, created some sort of tradition that still carries on to today. Fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs throw waffles at their team when they're playing bad. The Florida Panthers used to take quite some time cleaning up the ice whenever fans would throw rubber rats for luck until it was eventually banned in 1997. Ottawa Senators goalie Andrew Hammond became known as the Hamburger and would be rewarded by fans whenever he played well by throwing hamburgers onto the ice, with some players even going as far as eating some of those hamburgers. The Detroit Red Wings have a long-standing tradition that started all the way back in 1952, where fans throw slimy octopus onto the ice for luck. The tradition had become so accepted and adored that Detroit opted to make the octopus its good luck charm and mascot. The Superior Selfie. In 2016, a remarkable thing occurred when in the third quarter of the Tennessee Titans game against the Green Bay Packers, Titans cornerback Parrish Cox blasted Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers as he crossed the goal line on a 20-yard touchdown run. The Packers didn't like the act and rushed into the end zone to defend their quarterback, leading to a brawl between the players of the two teams. While the massive football athletes were fighting each other, two Tennessee fans in the end zone didn't seem to run away from the scuffle, but instead took out their phones to take selfie videos while the brawl was happening. Considering that they didn't get trampled or get accidentally knocked out of the way while the fight happened is something worth posting. Stoppage due to parachute. In 1993, at the boxing match between Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe at Caesars Palace on the Strip in Las Vegas, the man known as The Fan caused a temporary stoppage of the fight in round 7 when his paraglider crashed into the side of the ring area and onto the shocked crowd, with the lines of his paraglider tangled in the overhead lights before being swarmed and getting knocked unconscious by security personnel. The man, later identified as James Miller, would be quoted as saying, "It was a heavyweight fight and I was the only guy who got knocked out." Miller would later repeat sport event interruptions through related stunts, such as circling the LA Memorial Coliseum during a 1994 Denver Broncos vs. LA Raiders NFL playoff game, and flying low over the fourth-round FA Cup football match between Bolton Wanderers and Arsenal in Bolton, England. What do you think about these outrageous fan moments in sports you won't believe happen? We'd love to hear what you think about them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more stories.